I am alive, I have survived the Orkan. And Americans might be like, Europe, you're so silly. 25 or 30 meters a second? That's not wind, that's just meh. I deal with this every day. Now I have a surprise for you. Our houses aren't built for this. This shit wrecks our roofs. But yes, I have survived. The wind is still pretty crazy, but it's okay. We didn't have any power yesterday, but now it's fine, obviously. And today we're gonna take a look at my UI. Now I've done kind of like an add-on overview video already, but it's been like 5 months ago, and I just told you what kind of add-ons I have. Now I'm gonna go into details, and we're gonna start off with kind of like the general rules for UI. And the first most important rule is always do your UI when you're in combat, because just too many people make a nice UI, it's nice and neat and clean, they get into combat and suddenly their screen is covered in bollocks and they don't know what's going on. So to avoid this problem, just stand right next to the training dummy and auto attack it. That's all you need to do, and you see everything. I can see stuff like this, which tells me, hey, you're out of Moonkin form, press the button, I'm in Moonkin form. I can see all my procs going off and all that good stuff. Second rule of UI making, I suppose, is to have enough space around your character to spot any mechanic that might be dangerous to you, and have your character clearly visible once again in combat. As you can see right here, if I start casting right now and there is some battling going on, there is combat going on, I can see everything that happens around my character. And the third rule is to make a UI with as few add-ons as possible. Anything that is not beneficial to you in any way, shape or form and it's not helping you should be gone. It's useless, it's just covering your screen with bollocks. And the first add-on I want to look at is Tell Me When. So TMW, and here is everything. Okay, so I have my big cooldowns, Celestial Alignment, Synapse Springs, Vigil or Heart of the Wild, Incarnation, Force of Nature. This tells me, hey, you're in combat and you do not have Moonkin form, and Crit Banner from Warriors. Now these are fairly simple. Enabled, show timer text. If usable, 100% opacity. If unusable, 15% opacity. This is so that I can still see the cooldown, but you know, it's different. So if I get into combat, as you can see right here, and I press a button, these are almost invisible, but I can still see the cooldown, which is what I want. That is great. And underneath that, you can see all my procs. So let's get out of combat. So we're out of combat, and these are all the procs. This is the legendary meta gem, these are the true trinkets, this is the tailoring back proc, and this is Jade Spirit. Now these two aren't that important because they don't give you too much intellect. These two are very important because they give you a shit ton of intellect, and this is your personal bloodlust. Now Force of Nature is different. I have a big icon right here. So when I'm battling the boss, the icon is right next to the boss usually, or you know, when you're fighting like Malkorok or something, it's right there. You're probably looking on this part of the screen anyway, so you will see it. It's big, it has big numbers because it's charge based, so you need to press it more often. Now this just tells me, yay, you're in combat, you don't have Moonkin form, and a Crit Banner from Warrior. Now this is very important because if you time your cooldowns with this baby, yes, your Star Surges are gonna have a grand old time. Now I'm not using Tell Me When for Bloodlust. That's because I know when Bloodlust is coming, how long it lasts, and when we're about to Bloodlust, our raid leader goes, we're gonna Bloodlust in 20 seconds, prepare for it, or we're Bloodlusting in a minute. So I don't need Tell Me When for Bloodlust, but when you're pugging, it'll be kinda useful to you. These I have set up like this, just a buff on player. You type in the ID, and I have show timer text, show timer, but the opacity when absent I have at 0 because I don't need to see it. I want to see it when it procs. I don't need to see a gray icon of something that may or may not have an internal cooldown. So that's how I have that. Same with this. I want this thing to pop up when our warrior throws down his banner, so I can start doing some mad deeps. And this is basically all the tell me when stuff that I have. My unit frames are Pitbull. I think it's the best. And I'm using a fairly basic setup. I have a player, I have a target, and I have the target's target. If I use focus is right there, so I would usually focus a healer, so I can whoosh, innervate him like that, and that's about it. Nothing too complicated, just very simple. I don't feel like you need more than this. Just the player, the target, target's target, and the focus. Now let's talk about my raid frames, and I'm using Voodoo. It's this baby right here. Now this is awesome. Right now I have it set up so, if you look at the buffs, if I do not have the stats buff or symbiosis, my frame is white. Mark of the Wild checks everyone in the raid, so if someone is missing the stats buff, he turns white. If I'm missing symbiosis, I turn white as well, which I really like. You can also set up the display, so it shows your hearts and dots and all this bollocks. And the mouse clicks are very customizable as well. So when I'm out of combat and I press the left mouse button, it casts Healing Touch. Now left mouse button is always Healing Touch. Now the right mouse button, I have it so that when I'm out of in combat, right mouse button is Rejuvenation. If the target is dead and I'm in combat, it casts Rebirth. And if the target is dead and I'm out of combat, it casts Revive. This is really handy. You don't need mouse over macros. You don't need to select a target and then start casting Healing Touch. No, you just right mouse button, left mouse button. Very simple, very good. Now you can customize so much with this. Just look at this. You have all of these, and then look at these. And you have all these things down here, and then all these things on the right there. Just look at it. So much stuff to customize. It took me about 4 hours to get it to where I really like it. I'm really comfortable with it, and I can do a lot of stuff with it. So Voodoo, I would recommend it any day. It's amazing. Next thing is the map. I'm using Sexy Map, so I can move it from the top of the screen to the bottom of the screen, make a nice square shape. Recount, standard stuff. I'm using Bartender. If you're interested in my key bindings and basically the setup of my bars, there is an annotation on the screen. It'll be over the chat box. You can click it and it will take you to a video where I explain everything about my bars. Why I have this spell right here, why this key binding is on this button, and stuff like that. Basically my reasoning and the structure of my action bars. My dot tracker, Moonfire, Sunfire. As you can see, Moonfire is now green. Why is that? Well, that's because this add-on basically calculates mastery, spell power, crit, and haste, and gives you a simple yay or nay. If I reapply my dots now and something procs, as you can see right now, it tells me, oi, if you reapply your dots now, they're gonna be much stronger. And once again, you can customize this. I feel like this is an essential add-on because it helps you with decisions, and boomkins are all about decisions. Should I do this? Should I do that? Am I prepared for this? Or should I do this? So this add-on is really, really, really good. Just get it. It's Avdots, the boomkin version. And my Eclipse bar. Now this is Balance Power Tracker, BPT. As you can see, it's fairly customizable. Where is it? Where is it? There it is. So right here you can see all the stuff you can do with it. It's really good. It used to have some problems. It doesn't anymore. That's why I'm still using it. In the first add-on video I have said that I do not recommend this add-on. I recommend it. It's fixed. It works like a charm. It's awesome. Okay, it has the great addition of showing you where you're gonna end up when you cast a spell. As you can see right here, if I start casting Star Search, it shows me, hey, you're gonna be, you know, 40 towards Lunar, which is good. I like that. So really good indeed. It will help you. It's awesome. Get it. Balance Power Tracker. Class timers, really good. You can use other add-ons for this, but this one is easy to set up and it's really good. It basically shows you all the timers you can choose. I have Bark Skin, Weekend Blows, Fairy Fire, Berserking, Berserk, Heart of the Wild, Incarnation, and all this good stuff, which is basically this. To the left of my character, you can see Berserking, Synapse, Spring, Celestial Alignment, Nature's Grace, Incarnation, and Nature's Vigil. Everything you need, Starfall as well. Awesome. Class timers, get it. You can use Tell Me When for this, but the bars are nice and customizable. You can add your own spells, and they look fairly neat and clean. The yellow thing you can see above the black Bengal goat's head is an add-on called Tidy Plates. These are much better than the default ones. Basically, they show you the dots above the goat's head if you want to. They can show you threat if you're a tank, and they are very customizable. I'm using the Threat Plates edition, but the default Tidy Plates add-on has like 4 presets that are all really good. And you can choose if you want to use a tank specific set, DPS specific set, or a healer specific set of each of the presets, which is just so much better than the default. Yay, he has a banana over his head. That's about it. Right, so Tidy Plates are really good. They're very customizable. You can do so much stuff with this add-on. Okay, even though it only has like 4 presets, you can change them completely and basically make them fit for you. Do what you like. It's awesome. Tidy Plates, really good. And the beautiful, the lovely Quartz casting bar. Now, Quartz is the best casting bar you can get. As you can see, what I have is the player cast bar, target fast cast bar, and the focus cast bar. This add-on is amazing because, first of all, it shows you the latency, the delay, as you can see right at the end of the bar, which is really good if you're having some lag or something. It shows you ticks on channeled spells, which is also really good because you can't basically waste ticks with this add-on. Well, if you're stupid, you can, but it's much easier to determine when a certain spell is gonna tick, when you can refresh it, when you can cast it again. Awesome sauce. Now, you can customize this a lot. You can make big bars, you can make small bars, you can move them around the screen. It's awesome. Quartz cast bar. Get it. Now let's take a look at an add-on that is useless for combat situations, but it's a really good utility add-on, and it's called Opie. What it is, it's basically a radial menu. If I press G on my keyboard, this radial menu will appear, and you can customize the size, the colors, you know, the key binding, and what it looks like, what it does, and the icons and all this stuff. But basically what it is when I press G, this radial menu will appear, and I use it for mounts and profession stuff. So, you know, if I want to jump on my Onyxian Drake for some reason, I can do that. Or if I want to flex and I want to pull out the Brawlers Guild mount, I can do that as well. Or Ravenlord, Anzu, yes, look at him, he's so pretty. So all this stuff you can do with the radial menu. It's really good. It saves you some space on the screen. It will basically eliminate a couple of bars if you want to. So Opie, really good utility add-on. I like it an awful lot. And one last add-on I want to take a look at is once again a very good utility add-on. It's Arc Inventory. And as you can see, with this bag add-on, you can basically take items, put them into categories, and then make specific bars for them. So I have Harmony, I have fishing gear, resto gear, the essential stuff, Farmville stuff and engineering stuff, tomes, hardstone, my romantic picnic basket. Yes, indeed, it just ran out. We need to have a picnic there. Then I kind of forgot about that. And also about that, I should probably do something with it. Like I care. So, cooking supplies, potions and flasks, cloth, and then, the misc stuff. We can also type in, so if you want to find something, I can type in bollocks. And surprise, surprise, there's just 0 bollocks in my bag. But the really awesome thing that I really, really like is the custom group. So if I select a custom group and I select bollocks, I can then pick a bar, also put bollocks there, and now this item is under bollocks. And it's, there. It's away from the other things. So that's really, really, really good. I like it an awful lot. And this also works for your bank, which is even better. So Arc Inventory, probably the best bag add-on you can get. And that's the add-on video. I hope you liked it. I hope it helped you. If it did, give me a like. It really, really cheers me up. And I thank you a lot for watching. Now we'll see you next time. Bye bye.